Hello and welcome to another live English class. I'm Christian and this is Canguro English. Before I start, I just want to say that these live classes, the Facebook group that I have, Instagram, everything that I do, my podcast, all of this is possible because of your very generous support. So if you would like to sponsor English education, then you can become my patron on Patreon. Or you can buy some Canguro English merchandise. The links for both of these things are down below. Hello everybody. It's great to see you all again. We have Lusa in Brazil. Hello, Lusa. Josephine, Stephanie, Estela, Mohammed, Fatah, Hussein, Marina de Argentina, Gosha, Ruslan, Prasaf, Rodrigo, Pedro, Prasaf, Patricia's here. Hello again, Patricia, as always. Sorgul, Grit, Vincenzo. Oh man, I love the Italian names. Hend, Amir, Nasor, Jacek, Cow is here, and Ibra and Nereva from Brazil, and Rogelia in the Philippines, and people Bernd in Germany. Bernd. Almost. Damn it. Almost. Your name is not quite right. Well, Mohammed, I don't know. Annette is in London for a holiday. I hope that you're taking advantage of being in England and speaking a lot. I hope so. And we have Igor. Igor in Russia. Igor Alyakimov. Pablo in Argentina. Hello, Pablo. Doce Alma. Monica Bachter in Poland. Kid Tsunami. And Nicole in Sri Lanka. Wow, so many people. A lot of people. Today in this class, I'm going to do something a little bit different. So earlier in the week, I received a message on Facebook from a student, and this was his homework. Okay, his homework was to rewrite 5 different sentences. Okay, and so today I'm going to show you some techniques to make your sentences more, well, according to this, more emphatic. Now, I have to say that I don't particularly like this activity because I think it's for me it's a bit confusing, not very clear, and yeah, it's a strange activity, but it's an opportunity to show you some techniques for writing. But before we do this, if you have any questions, I'm happy to take a few questions from you, if you have any, and then we can start. Sorgul wants to know the difference between check out and check up. Check, I think. Sorry. Okay, so check out has some different meanings. Like in a hotel, you can check out of the hotel because you go out. Check in, check out. Also, check out can be it's informal for to look around, right? So you say, I'm going to check out the city. I'm going to look at the city. Check it out. Checking in or checking out. And also, check out can be to look for information. Like if I ask you, what is the capital of the country of, I don't know, the capital of Malaysia? And you say, I don't know the capital of Malaysia. I'll check it out. Okay, so to find information. Check up is, again, some various meanings I can think of right now. When you go to your doctor, you have a check up. Up means finished. They check all of you, so you're completely checked. A checkup. And you can have a checkup for your car, where they look at your car and check that everything is good. They check everything. And also in a similar way, you can check up on some information. And so maybe this is the difference, right? To check out is you have no idea about the solution, no idea about the information. But check up, you have an idea and you want confirmation. Okay? So it's like, the capital of Brazil, I'm not sure. I think that it's Rio de Janeiro, but I need to check up on that. Okay? It would have been embarrassing if I didn't know the capital of Brazil. Well, okay. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Gosha wants to know how to finish an important business letter. It's a great question, actually, and I was reading about this recently because there's a new psychology developing in the world of business, okay? Which is, if you are an important person, then your emails, your communications will be very short. Very short. Like, for example, if I am writing a letter to an important person, maybe I would say, best regards, Christian. All right? Best regards, Christian. But if I was, I don't know, if I was the Prime Minister of England, maybe I would write this. Best regards, C. Because, and why? Why? It's psychological. When I do this, I'm saying to you, I'm busy. I don't have time for all of this. I'm busy. 3 letters, BRC. So it's to indicate your status. So in general, when you're using business communications, think about your position in the hierarchy. If you want to seem sort of important and busy, do this. If you want to be more polite and like, you're the man, you're number one, then do this. Okay? But remember, with anything like this, YMMV. What does this mean? It means your mileage may vary. Your mileage may vary. So, when you buy a car, they tell you how many miles per gallon. Now remember, this is American, okay? So in normal countries, it would be how many liters per kilometer. Okay, liters per kilometer. But in America, it's miles per gallon. Miles per gallon. So maybe if your car is very efficient, it can go, I don't know, 100 miles per gallon. But if it's a big, a big American tank, you get 1 mile per gallon, right? But of course, it depends how you drive your car. If you drive your car very fast, then you use more petrol. If you drive your car very slowly, it uses less petrol. Your mileage may vary. So when somebody says this, it means basically, it's like saying, it depends. It's the same as saying, it depends. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at some questions. Hello, Adrian in Uruguay. Is it cold? No. I'm wearing a spring jacket and t-shirt. And it's not cold. No, today it's a beautiful day. Jamila wants to know how to improve writing without teachers. The answer is so easy. Just write more. That's what you have to do, write more. The most famous authors in the world, how did they develop their writing skills? They wrote a lot in their own native language. Writing is not a skill that comes with a language. Writing is a skill you develop with practice. I'm a native English speaker, but that doesn't mean I'm a good writer. Maybe you're a native Italian speaker, but you're very bad at writing in Italian. You have to practice, right? Like giving presentations, reading. All of these skills you develop through practice. So if you want to write better, just write more, okay? And if you want to send it to me, I'll read it. No problems. You have all my contact details. Or you can post it in the Facebook group. People will read it. I promise you. Thanks. Let's have a look. Okay, Golova. What's the difference between quick and fast? No difference. No difference. We have lots of words in English that are synonyms, right? So quick and fast are synonyms, but there is one little difference, okay? Quickly exists as an adverb. So he runs quickly. He sits down quickly. It describes the verb, the action of the verb. But fastly doesn't exist. Fast is only an adjective. You cannot use it as an adverb. You have to say quickly. Although that's the rule, the strict rule. But people say he sat down fast. This is a very common thing that people do in English. They use adjectives as adverbs. Everybody does it. It's like, he speaks good, instead of he speaks well. Okay, that would be correct. He speaks well. But everybody does it. Native speakers do it. It's not a problem. Okay, it's not a problem. just continue using adjectives as adverbs. Everybody does it, so it's okay. It's a fiesta of adjectives. Okay. Wow. So I'm gonna just answer just a couple more questions, and then we're going to start with the activity, the writing activity. Okay. Okay. What's the difference between been and being? Okay, so they are two different forms of the same verb. So this form here is the participle, right? And we use this in the passive voice, and also we would use that in the perfect tenses. So like, I have been working, okay? Or in the passive, like I am well. It's difficult to use in the passive because it just sounds, it's not a verb that you can use in the passive because it's the verb to be, right? But being is the continuous form, right? So we would use this in the continuous tenses, like present continuous. I am being I am being funny, or also we would use this in present perfect continuous, or maybe you could use it as a noun, right? Like a human being. A human being. Okay. So yes, of course. Where is the so Rodrigo? Rodrigo Vieira says that Brasilia is the capital of Brazil, not Rio de Janeiro. What do we say before? I'm just going to answer. I'm going to answer one more question, and then we will. Then I'm going to start with the writing. Yes, I am Australian. I was born in Australia, but I live and work in Spain. Hello, Amanda. Nice to see you again. Do I teach classes on Skype? No, I don't. Sorry. I can't. There's no more questions here that I can see. So, okay. Just a question here from Rodrigo. Can any adjective be used as a noun? So if you look at a sentence like, he is funny, could you say that it's a noun? It's sort of a noun, right? Because you're giving him like a but it's not a noun because you can't use it with an article. You can't say he is a funny or the funny, or so. In some ways, like this construction, it seems like a noun, and in some languages it can be, but can use adjectives as nouns? No, not really. As adverbs, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so let's start with this writing activity. Okay, so basically this is. Let me read the instructions. So revise the following sentences to make them more emphatic, to give them more emphasis. Okay. For each sentence, decide which ideas should be highlighted and place these key ideas at sentence beginnings or endings. Use climactic order or depart from conventional word order where appropriate. Okay, so, and I think this gives you an idea of how you can make a sentence in English more emphatic. Okay, so, if this is time, we have two options, right? We can hit you in the face with the important things at the beginning, right? Boom! And then the energy drops off. So we slap you in the face with the emphasis and then we go off. Or we can do the opposite. We can build to a climax. Building, then boom! And then we slap you in the face at the end. But there are other ways. I'm going to show you some other ways to build emphasis, or to add emphasis. Okay, so this is the first sentence, right? So I'll read it to you before I write it. Okay. Police want to upgrade their firepower because criminals are better armed than ever before. Okay. Oops. Better armed than ever before. Okay. Police want to upgrade their firepower. So firepower is basically their guns, things that fire. Okay, they want to upgrade their firepower because criminals are better armed than ever before. So the first thing we have to do is decide which ideas should be highlighted. So I'm curious, right? Which part of this sentence do you think is the most important? And yes, I do write like a doctor. I need to improve my writing. Firepower. Well, more or less. No, my handwriting is terrible. It's like, when you go to the doctor, and the doctor just gives you, he just does this, and he gives you the piece of paper. And you think, oh, I can't understand this. Who can understand this? But then, when you go to the pharmacy, they always know. The people in the pharmacy have special abilities. They can read the doctor's writing, the dosage, the name of the drug, everything. How? Okay, so So Gosha says power. Gosha says power, and Shinjue says upgrade. Okay. Lots of people are saying upgrade. Criminals. Some people are saying criminals. Upgrade. Okay. The vote in general. The vote in general. People are saying the most important thing is upgrade. So the first technique we're going to use is called fronting. Okay, so we're going to do the first thing. We're going to slap people in the face with the important idea. So we want to move this to the beginning of the sentence, right? So I have a question for you. How can we move that to the beginning? And let me answer your question, okay? Update and upgrade. Okay, so let me explain the difference. It's a little difference. Okay, so I have this beautiful green holder for my chalk. So here's my chalk, and I put my chalk inside, and it has a button and a plastic tube. Now, if I update, it means that I have a new model. It's a new model, but it has the same characteristics, right? It's the same product. It has a button, and the chalk goes inside, and it's a piece of plastic. The material, it's updated. It's new. It's a new thing, but it's the same characteristics. But upgrade is different. Upgrade is like the next level, right? It has more characteristics. Maybe it can hold 5 pieces of chalk, and maybe it's carbon fiber and not plastic. Or maybe it's steel. It's like, that's the difference, okay? That's the difference. So, yes, you were absolutely right, you guys. Patricia Andrietta and also Jamile Chasabi, correct, and Jashik as well, correct. To put this at the beginning, we need to change it into a gerund. Okay, so upgrading upgrading, we can start with this, okay? Upgrading, and then I think that we should change police. We should change police to be an adjective, right? So we're going to say upgrading police firepower. Okay. And so the original verb was want. The police want to upgrade their firepower. So I think we can say upgrading police firepower is necessary, or is required. But that's different from want, isn't it? It's different from want. So who has an idea? What verb can we use that's similar to want? Right? Because need and want are different. Aspire. No. So again, I feel like there's a difference between ooh. Okay, I think shinjue, yes. Desire. Beautiful. Upgrading police firepower is desired because criminals are better armed than ever before. Or we could use so this is passive, is desired, or we could use this, we could say is desirable. Is desirable because criminals are better armed than ever before. Or, very nice, what about wish? Yes, we could also use wish. Is wished. I feel like that's maybe a bit, I don't know, it sounds very formal. It sounds formal. I don't like it. I think desired or desirable is better. Okay, good. I like it. I like it. So let's look at sentence number 2. Okay? Good work, guys. Good work. Okay, so again I'll read number 2. A few years ago, felons used so-called Saturday night specials, small caliber 6-shot revolvers. Okay. Specials. Okay, so I think there is some vocabulary to explain. Okay, so a few years ago, felons. A felon is a criminal. A person who commits a felony is a felon. Felons used so-called. It's like saying that the next word is it's a type of criticism. Okay, like for example. Let me think of an example. I'm trying to think of a famous person. Okay, well. Okay. Who is? Help me here. Who is a famous person, a famous singer, who is a bad singer? It's like a famous musician who's very bad at being a musician. Okay, Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber. Okay, so Lady Gaga. So we could say Justin Bieber is a so-called musician. So you're saying that, they're a musician, but not really, right? Katy Perry is a singer, a so-called singer, okay? That's what this means. Enrique Iglesias. Alejandro Sanz. Oh, he has a beautiful, deep voice. No. The hero of Mexico, Alejandro, no? And yeah, you can use this in Tinky Winky. Tinky Winky from the Teletubbies. Best singer ever. Enya. Sail away, sail away, sail away. Who is Ellie? I don't know who Ellie is. Who is Ellie? I don't know. Okay, so a Saturday night special. So a Saturday night special was a gun that you could buy on Saturday night out on the street, in a paper bag. And it was an illegal gun, a gun that was not registered to an owner. Okay? And then you take the gun and you go and, I don't know, rob a petrol station or rob an old lady or, I don't know. Small caliber, which means a small bullet. Okay, small bullet. Not a big gun, small caliber. 6-shot, okay, so it's a revolver. You know the old-fashioned revolver? You pull the trigger and it goes round, pew, 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 like in the cowboy films. A revolver. Okay, so now the question's for you. Yeah, exactly, like a 38. The question for you is, which part of this sentence do you think is the most important? I'm not sure myself. I'm not sure really. Gosha says a gun. The gun, like, so maybe you're talking about this, the revolvers, no? Rodrigo and Golova both think that this is the important part. Nisreen says felons. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit because I have some type of infection. A lot of people think that so-called is the most important thing. This would be the British spelling, caliber. In American English, maybe it's caliber with an ER, but I'm not sure about that. So I think a lot of people are voting for so-called being the most important thing. So for this one, I think that we are going to use some synonyms. Okay? We're going to use some alternative vocabulary. So, can any of you think of a synonym for so-called? Okay, so, Jamila says alleged. Wow, that's brilliant. A great one, alleged. Rodrigo says sort of. Okay, Ilyas says seeming. Very nice. Jashik says kind of supposed. Supposed. Nicknamed. Self-styled. Wow. Or kind, exactly. Wow. Or Christina Ruibal says pseudo. They really are some brilliant synonyms, guys. I'm very, very impressed. Artem says self-proclaimed. Man. self-proclaimed. Some great words in here. So let's think about how we can maybe incorporate this. Okay, so I think we can maybe, a few years ago, we can maybe sort of compress this, right? Maybe we can compress it, and we can put this here, right? Move this here. So, any ideas how we can compress a few years ago? What's another alternative to say a few years ago? So one day talks about the future. Okay? Like one day. Okay, recent years. We could say in recent years. In the past. But I think Maria Unkal, with her beautiful simplicity, nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Before, I love it. Before, okay, so before, and then I think we'll move this here, right? So before, maybe we can say, I like the pseudo, because this is a formal text, and I like the pseudo. So maybe we can say maybe pseudo arms, right? Pseudo arms, alleged and we need a comma, okay? We need a comma to separate. This is before. So what was the actual part of the sentence? A few years. Felons used. This is the verb. They used. What was the actual part of the sentence? A few years. Okay, so alleged Saturday night specials. And then we can lead on to this. Small caliber 6-shot revolvers were used by felons. Okay, there's one thing which I'm not happy about, which is guns, because they are guns, they're not pseudo guns. We need another synonym for these revolvers, right? Okay, I think you're right, Christina. I think you're right. Weapon. Man, I love this sentence now. I love it. It's so, right? Before, pseudo weapons, alleged Saturday night specials, small caliber 6-shot revolvers. And I feel like I want to just, were used by felons. It's so much better. I love it. Okay. Great work, guys. Great work. Okay. Let's look at number 3. Now, semi-automatic pistols capable of firing 15 to 20 rounds, along with paramilitary weapons like the AK-47, have replaced these weapons. It's a long sentence. Okay, now, pistols capable of firing 15 to 20 rounds, comma, along with paramilitary weapons like the AK-47 have replaced these weapons. Okay, so now semi-automatic pistols, right, capable of firing 15 to 20 rounds. So a round is a bullet. Yeah. Along with, so also paramilitary weapons like the AK-47 have replaced these weapons. Okay, so what do you guys think is the most important part of this sentence? I'm curious. Okay. Patricia says replaced. Michael Jevlich says pistols. Jamila says capable. Marion says AK-47. Dothe says machine gun. Christina, semi-automatic pistol. Again, pistol. Siwapat says instead. Okay. Rodrigo says replaced. Capable, weapon, replaced. Replaced. Okay, so I have to say that the majority of the vote is for replaced. So what technique can we use to make this more emphasis? I think we can use some of the old Greek techniques of rhetoric. Okay, so we could use anaphora or epistrophe, maybe. Anaphora is when we repeat a word at the beginning of sentences, okay? And it's a very simple but powerful technique if we want to use replaced, okay? So I think we should try it. I think we should try to create 3 or 4 sentences, and all of the sentences begin with replacing. Okay, so let's go. So replacing. Replacing what? I'm going to do it again. And again. And again. So for example, replacing semi-automatic pistols, replacing weapons capable of firing 15 to 20 rounds. So for example, and we can put now in front, okay? Now replacing semi-automatic pistols. Now replacing weapons capable of firing 15 to 20 rounds. Now replacing paramilitary weapons like the AK-47. Is what? No, so we need to change this this here, right, to the end. Okay, so now replacing weapons capable of firing 15 to 20 rounds. Now replacing paramilitary weapons like the AK-47 are semi-automatic pistols. Okay, so we have two repetitions of now replacing are the pistols. Okay, so this repetition just helps to you hear politicians use this all the time, this anaphora with the repetition of the idea and the guys, I'm really sorry, but I have to go. There's work things. Today's class was difficult. Okay, it was hard, and it was an advanced class. But I hope you sort of maybe, you know, saw how to play with, you know, some sentences. And yes, so